Like, dude, you're an idiot.
I'm doing very well, Jen. Is it just going to be me and you, or Eli and Zach going to pop in?
Yeah, they'll talk every once in a while, but
Every now and then we'll kind of...
he was already here right away.
It kind of, well, we're used to you attacking us, so.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Look at
Let's just put it this way. Who do you see as the quarterback week 1 for the Green Bay Packers?
I see.
Welcome, everybody, to a special training camp edition of Open Book here on Game On Wisconsin. As you can see, no Zach here with us this week, but me and Jen, we're going to lock it down. Or is it Jen and I? Jen, you're the teacher. Was I wrong on that one?
Jen and I. Yeah.
I hate saying that. It doesn't make sense to me. I kind of just say me and Jen, either way.
It's like you got to take out, like, so that if you take out one, then it still sounds right. So if you were to say, like, me gonna talk to you about it, like, that would make sense. But you say I'm gonna talk. So if you take out Jen, it still makes sense. There's your lesson for the day.
I so badly want to quote Kevin from The Office and do, but less words, whatever he says, but I forgot it.
Save time, yeah.
Save time, yeah. No words, save time. Yeah, exactly. But as everyone can see, Jen, I mean, we all know of your move over the last month or two, and behind you, as Jacob said, Romeo Dubs, the GOAT, 87.
Shut up, Jacob.
But yeah, it looks like you got yourself set up there.
I did. Yep. It actually isn't even all my stuff yet. This is just kind of the one wall is finally done. So I'm excited about that. Yep.
It's a lot of stuff.
I still have like all my hockey stuff that I got to figure out. You know, that won't be behind me, but that'll be in front of me. So I'll be able to look at it during the show. But yeah, no.
There'll be Tyler Sagan posters all over the wall in front of you.
I don't have any of his stuff. I'm glad you remembered our conversation from last week, though.
Right? I don't remember those things. And
no, you don't.
I remember very little of life. Hey, look, I was out of the bathroom. Now I'm in a dimly lit hotel room that smells like chlorine and is full of children running around the water park that I was unaware of. See, Chris, yeah, I might have got the Cosby room. I don't know for sure. But yeah, I'm in Green Bay, as mentioned, here at training camp. Actually had a bit of a disaster this morning. Usually I like to get there a solid hour before, get set up, get a good spot, the whole situation. But Jen, as I do so well, I missed about 11 alarm clocks this morning.
Sounds about right, yep.
And woke up 20 minutes before practice, freaking out. Basically just ran there as fast as I could.
You ran? Are you like close enough where?
No, I ran to I could have run.
I was like, you just see Eli sprinting down the sidewalk.
Yeah, I'm just sprinting like I'm still in my boxers. But no, I drove the block because I was too lazy, but it was probably quicker still. And then I stood in line with Andrew as we waited to get in, which was an unfortunate wait. But once we got in, good seats, right in the middle, so you kind of saw
perfect
special teams. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to be out there. Anyone in the comments who was there, throw some stuff out from what you saw. But Jen, obviously you did not have the chance to come out and see training camp this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe at some point. But what were some of the things that you were most looking forward to today that maybe I can help you out with?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's interesting to hear how the rehab group is doing. Obviously interested in the rookies and how guys like Quay Walker, obviously Christian Watson's got some stuff going on, but like I saw a lot of stuff about Dubes. Is it Dubes or Dubs? I feel like Dubs, okay.
At first I thought it was Doubs.
Yeah.
But it's Dubs.
Doubs?
Well, D-O-U, that would be, I mean, it's sure not Dubes. That would be just 2 O's.
But either way, seeing stuff on him, obviously, like I saw Jacob's tweets and stuff, but kind of poking fun at the 87. But obviously, I take a lot of pride in that number, so it's really good to see that he had a good first outing and guys like Quay Walker going out there doing really well. Obviously paying attention to who's not there, like the injury stuff, hearing that Crosby got the scope done. So it sounds like he'll probably miss some preseason games, which at this point it sounds like in his career he's okay with. I mean, it's Mason Crosby. I think it'll be okay. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I was on a softball field all day today, so it was really hard for me to get a chance. I have my watch on, so if I'm close enough to my phone, I was getting some notifications. But I feel like I kind of missed the, usually like if I'm at work or something, like in a day job office area, I can kind of like look and see and scroll and kind of get it all like in a good sequence. So it was very sporadic the way I was getting news today, which was kind of frustrating, the way Twitter is set up now where it's not just by, what's going on. So hopefully tomorrow in the next couple of days when I'm not on a softball field, a little bit easier for me. But yeah, I was kind of just trying to get bits and pieces of kind of the newcomers. And obviously with a lot of those guys being hurt, we don't get to see a lot of that, but just kind of how Rogers is connecting with guys on the field and how the line looks, because obviously our offensive line is going to be a little interesting with all the injuries. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you want to look for on a day like today. I know you were kind of focusing on, I saw some of your tweets about like special teams and defense, like you were kind of all over the place too, which obviously you had a middle seat so you could see a lot of good stuff. But I'm excited for you to kind of fill me in because it was really hard for me to retain a lot of the news. So I'm excited for the things that I'm curious about to hear your perspectives on.
Yeah, so just off the bat, I mean, kind of like what you said, first let's kind of get like the bad news, this kind of stuff out of the way. Obviously, Christian Watson didn't practice, but I don't know if it was Goody or LaFleur that said in the press conference they're not concerned about it. They're even less concerned about Sammy Watkins, who did not practice. So the receiver room should be fine, and we'll get to the receiver room more throughout the show, but we saw a lot of good stuff out of the receivers today, that's for sure. And then obviously David Bakhtiari, knowing that it seems like he had a third surgery, but his press cut, he had not a press conference, but he had locker room availability, and he basically shut down any worries. Do we think? Oh yeah, so it seems like he does not seem concerned about it. I think this could be classic Packers being overprotective, saying, you're David Bakhtiari, you don't need to be in the first training camp.
Right.
He might not be here the second or third or fifth, but I do think come week one, he'll be out there.
So you're pretty confident.
That's before.
Okay.
Well, only because he just made it seem like it wasn't as big of a deal as it seems to us. Before his media availability, I would not have been as confident. But the way he was talking sounded all right. So hopefully we get Bakhtiari sooner than later. And also, I mean, Elton Jenkins is ahead of his schedule in rehab.
Yeah, that was good to see. I did see that.
Yeah, so I saw him working out on the side, and he looked really good. Same with Robert Tonyan. He was running around. He was actually probably the only player I've ever seen in like 4 years of coming to training camp to come up to the fans in middle of the practice to sign stuff because, he was kind of just
he can only do so much, right?
Yeah. So, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to see. I mean, as you mentioned, Romeo Doubs, he made a couple really big catches and just seemed like, excuse me, I mean, just like some slant routes that were just so seamless. Like you would think it's, Jordy or Devontae or Greg Jennings, like Rogers, one step right in stride and he's gone. But so yeah, Dobbs definitely had a good day with Watson not out there, but I think the star, at least for me on offense today, was Alan Lazard. Like everyone's wondering.
The Hall of Famer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we could talk about that real quick, of course, with Aaron Rodgers today with his quote, it's always a transition going from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer after Devontae Adams saying the same about Derek Carr to Aaron Rodgers.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was fun. That was fun of Rodgers. And yeah, Lazard, you never know. Because after what I saw today, he's the Packers' number one receiver.
It is fun to see the trolling and stuff from QB1 though. Like obviously these guys see things even if they don't comment on it. So I'm sure Devontae will see that and they'll poke their fun at each other. And I'm sure that people who don't understand are gonna come out and like ridicule it, thinking that it's like a serious comment. But it's like if you're paying attention at all to it, you kind of understand the banter that's happening now between Rodgers and Devontae, who are obviously still friends and stuff. So it's not like trolling out of bitterness. It's just kind of friendly.
For pro football talk and PFF, they'll have their fun with it. But obviously, it was not anything derogatory towards Devontae, more of just a funny joke. But seeing him out there with Alan Lazard, they looked just so in sync. I mean, I don't think I remember a target going to Lazard that was not caught, including some spectacular ones. One in particular where Rodgers, it almost looked like it was like a broken play, almost like a Hail Mary. Rodgers chucked it deep down the middle of the field into the end zone. I mean, the closest thing I can remember the throw looking like was literally the Jeff Janis Hail Mary. He wasn't running for his life, but just you don't see that kind of like just jump ball from Aaron Rodgers. And Alan Lazard went up, just ripped it down, came down hard on the ground, and came up with the ball, it was a really, really impressive catch, and the crowd went nuts. Like, it was definitely the play of the day, I think.
I think it was from Andy, the first like big wow play of the day was to Winfrey. Is that correct? Yeah. Did he? Yeah, so obviously I didn't get to see it. I didn't stumble across a video. Like, what happened with that one where it was kind of like the first big whoa moment of training camp?
I'm trying to find his actual tweets, remember who threw it. I don't know if it was Love or Rodgers who threw it, but Winfrey. So I had a bit of a hard angle on it because we're on the right sideline and the play was down the right sideline, but it basically looked kind of like an out and up route on the sideline, and it was a perfect throw right over the coverage, and Winfrey just kind of went up in the front corner pylon of the end zone and just kind of grabbed it, went down. And again, like from where I was sitting, it's hard to tell if they hold on to the ball, through the ground. But, he comes up and flings the ball up in the air. And, it was a really, really impressive catch. And Winfrey was really impressive all of training camp last year.
Right, he was like the darling, so.
Yeah, I really wanted him to make the roster, and then he just got hurt. And, again, he's making plays. It's just who knows what's going to happen. I mean, right now the Packers have – even with cutting Malik Taylor and Juwan Winfrey, they already have 6 receivers that you could almost call a lock with the 3 rookies, Lazard, Cobb, and Watkins. Oh, and then you have Amari Rodgers.
That's somebody who I wanted to ask you about too, because I saw you made some comment like it looks like he could be on track for a good second-year leap. So I just kind of want to know what you saw from him that kind of made you think that.
Yeah, so first off, Andy and Jen, thank you for reminding me to bring up Amari Rodgers. Because, he really did look like he had a great day. I mean, I think his best play of the day, Love was at quarterback. He was running a crossing route over the middle. The ball came in low. It was kind of one of those plays where you're going to take a hit, and you just got to deal with it as a slot receiver. And he dove, caught the ball, took the hit, held on to it. It was just really impressive. And he just seemed to run his routes with a lot more confidence. He was running a lot of out routes where 5, 6, 7 yards, quick cut, and whoever was covering him really didn't stand much of a chance. I think one time, I don't know if it was Winfrey, but one specific play that stuck out to me from Jair Alexander, it must have been a 5-yard out, and 9 out of 10 of those have been completed throughout the day so far. It's a pretty damn hard play to defend. And Jair was just all over it, full extension dive to knock the ball out. And he got up, and there was a quote somewhere on Twitter where I think the quote was like, I got that shit, like, get out of here. Like, I mean, Jair was on full display today. He was
makes me a little nervous, like diving and stuff like that, just because obviously the upper body injuries that he's had, but But good. It also shows
Yeah,
like
he
he's
was-
comfortable and confident and like, everything feels good. And so if he's out
Yeah,
there
that's what
balling out like
yeah.
that, it shows that okay, he's healthy, he's ready to go, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, that's what I took from it, is that he's definitely not playing scared.
Just makes
like,
me think
at
of like
all.
the Charles Woodson. Like
I
you think
know,
of a
like,
guy
you're
diving
tired
and
of-
it's like
Yeah. Yeah, but no,
Just
there was
that
a lot
fear.
of energy. Yeah, but there just in general a lot of energy. Adrian Amos made some nice plays as always. He broke up a deep pass. The offensive line made some nice running lanes. Aaron Jones specifically broke out a couple nice runs around the edge. Patrick Taylor had a fumble. I believe it was TJ Slayton. No, it might have been Ty Summers. It was actually kind of a Charles Woodson-esque play, a punch out. Taylor already
Okay.
passed him, and he just punched at the ball, fumbled. And I could be wrong. Andrew's backstage. He mentioned it. I personally didn't see it, but I believe that they actually had Patrick Taylor doing some push-ups after the fumble as a little, you fumble, you do some
And
push-ups.
that seems to be, we make our girls do that too. If they overthrow or, mess up, it's like burpees, push-ups, something to kind of
Then
just,
that's child abuse, and I'll be reporting you. So get it together. You can't. Unbelievable.
you gotta coach how, kids gotta learn.
No, I agree. You gotta be tough on your.
It is funny though that like, obviously even at like a professional level like that, it's like go do your 10 push-ups and
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, you're in the NFL, but you're gonna do some push-ups because you fumbled. But yeah, no, it was a nice day. It was actually surprisingly not like 8,000 degrees. Like
usually it's like scorching hot and you're
Yeah.
dripping sweat on those first couple days, obviously end of July in the
but it was
bleachers.
it was a nice day, and it was a lot of energy. I mean, it was packed. The full crowd obviously being full, but around the whole field, standing room. It was just, I haven't been to another team's training camp, but I simply can't believe that any other training camp is like this. And then you go right after and you see, with the bikes and all the kids, and
Right.
just no matter how many times you see it, it's just a really cool experience.
Yeah. So obviously, you didn't see the Dream Drive, the one coming in, or did
Not on
you?
the way
Were you?
in.
Okay.
I saw the
But
way
you were
out,
able
on the way.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were, everyone was, I'm trying to think, like, guys that were just, like, I was standing up by the fence, and, like, me and Andrew were both kind of there. I think me and Jordan Love is right there, Stokes, Douglas, Matt LaFleur came by on a bike. We met up with Joe Barry, me and Andrew, took some pictures. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. So explain how that transpired.
We were just walking down the street, and I was like, shit, wait, that's Joe Barry. So I was like, Coach, what up? And he's like, what's going on? So I was like, can we get a picture? And he was just super cool about it. So
Okay.
yeah, and the way he yelled.
Glad you finally learned how to take a picture.
I know, right? By the way, the other picture, hopefully that will be for tomorrow, whatever. There was some miscommunication today. But yeah.
His energy. Yeah.
He's awesome. But also Rich Bisaccia, everything like as advertised. He's barking on. Oh no, did I disappear? On
You're like kind of cutting in and out.
Field goal. Am I frozen?
You're frozen. There you go. You're kind of coming back.
Do you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, you're getting
basically,
there.
I'm excited about Bisaccia. He looks like everything we expected him to be, which is
yeah. So you obviously saw, did you see anything different from special teams, or was it, obviously first day just kind of getting a feel for what he's working with, but anything crazy? Did they look okay? Did they? Obviously with Crosby not being out there, I don't know if that makes a difference or not. But obviously you've got Pat, and I don't remember who they have in here kicking, but.
So I wouldn't say I saw anything crazy, but I would say that I definitely saw a lot more emphasis on special teams in a 90-minute practice than any of the other years I've been in a training camp. So that I liked. I was probably it was probably 15 to. Why am I frozen? Why are you laughing?
I'm just kind of nodding along, listening. I'm just in a good mood. Football's back. I'm not laughing. I'm just happy.
But yeah, I mean, like 15 minutes into practice, they were already doing different special team stuff. Like they clearly want to emphasize it. And I believe I saw Randall Cobb, Amari Rogers, Romeo Doubs, and potentially Samori Toure receiving punts.
That was going to be my next question: is who'd they have at returner?
I didn't see anyone drop a punt, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
I didn't see any field goals missed by the way, Andrew. I don't think it's Molson. It's this guy. Like I can't pronounce his last name.
Does it start with a B?
Like yeah, it's B. It's like Burkich.
Is he's the only other kicker though, or did they have two?
No, it's just him and Mason.
Okay.
His name is Gabe. Okay, I mean this is how his last name is spelled. Brkic. So it's like brick, but Burkick.
Brkic. Burkick? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all right. Well, he looked all right. The snapping looked all right. I assume that was Wordle and Jack Coco. Kind of want Jack Coco to make the roster because Jack Coco, that's a fun name.
It's a cool name, right?
Yeah, it's a fun name. I mean, that's just that simple. In terms of the defense, so Quay Walker was someone that you mentioned, and yeah, he was flying around.
Yeah, I heard that he was just a menace.
Yeah, I mean, he's exactly. I mean, we knew Devondre Campbell, all-pro season, but he's kind of. I feel like he's more of like a stereotypical middle linebacker of like a decade ago, like an AJ Hawk.
Right.
Probably better, but like not necessarily super speedy, like hybrid safety kind of guy.
Right.
Quay Walker, he may not be a hybrid safety, but he's like lean, super fast, go sideline to sideline. Kind of reminds me of a Devin White in Tampa, Darius Leonard in Indianapolis. Or actually, it might be Shaquille Leonard now. I don't know if you saw this, but Darius Leonard, one of the best linebackers in the NFL, decided people should start calling him Shaquille today. I didn't see why, but it's interesting. But yeah, Quay Walker looked really good. Rashawn Gary, I don't know. I mean, I saw him make some plays, but then
did I just lose Eli? Andrew's laughing backstage. I think that means we might have just lost Eli.
Sure. Right back.
I don't know. I just see Andrew laughing backstage. I was like, okay, so it's not just me seeing this. Like Eli mid-sentence, just that good old hotel internet.
Son of a.
You are here. Barely.
You can't see me. Can you hear me?
Yes,
you're coming back to us. Yeah.
Maury, you're not talking into the void.
Hold on. Let me see if my phone's any better at this situation.
Well, Eli figures that out. Andrew.
Because I can join whenever I want. Well, not really, but
Let's since we have
what's happening?
We're kicking him out now. We're kicking him out.
I think he has to leave, so you have to kick out one.
How about now?
Oh my gosh, Eli.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
That was terrible.
I almost just had a seizure. Oh, God.
That was terrible. I was trying to get Andrew. Well, you were like supersonicking our chat here. I figured, we have Andrew on screen. He was there as well with you. I just kind of wanted to see if there was anything different that he saw that he wants everyone to know about. Or obviously, there's a couple of things in the comments that we haven't touched on yet that.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of what Eli said was kind of what I was seeing. Like, again, I was overall impressed with the way Amari Rogers looked on, the offense. That's someone that they're going to need to step up this year, no matter what happens with Sammy Watkins or some of these other rookies. That's someone who, I feel like they really want to take a jump this year. And I'm glad we touched on Quay Walker a little bit. I'm pretty sure he was the one who made the first play in 11-on-11. It looked like, and again, from where our angle was, was a little, a little weird, and you couldn't quite tell, but it looked like he was the one who made the first play. It was like a run, like almost like a stretch run to the left, and he not blew it up, but it looked like, he was the one, right there making the play in the gap. So it was always good to, see that from a rookie, right off the bat in your first day of training camp, because obviously that can, be quite a lot to try and take all that in. So.
Mm-hmm. No, it's going to be fun to see him out there kind of once we get in more game scenarios, preseason, season gets going, kind of just see him out there and about, tracking guys down. And if he's got that speed, that's going to be awesome to see.
Yeah, if he can turn into the true number 2, I think that also really helps them, because then, that means Chris Barnes can play a little more special teams, and I'm sure Rich Bisaccia can, really, find somewhere for him to succeed on special teams, and Lord knows they're going to need some guys to make some plays on special teams this year, because obviously, last season was just, a train wreck, and
right.
They got to find a way to make it work. So I think if Quay Walker can keep, if he keeps having a good camp, and then we see him in preseason making plays, and again, like you said, they don't need him to be, crazy good. He just needs to be competent, and let some of those other guys, Chris Barnes, Ty Summers, let them maybe play a little more special teams, may not not have to be out there with the defensive unit as much. Not to say that Chris Barnes can't handle it. Clearly we've seen him do it the last couple of years, but
yeah. I'm just so I did also see, while we're still on defense, somebody in the comments mentioned not really hearing or seeing much about Wyatt. Is there anything you guys can touch on?
That's because I saw, obviously we saw him out there, but
real quick, am I here right now? Can you see me?
Yeah. You're here. Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if I ever came back. Okay, sorry, Andrew, go ahead.
I didn't really see a whole lot from Wyatt. Granted, again, from where we were, defensive line was probably one of the last positions that I could really get a look at of okay, well, is someone making a play, stuff like that. So it was really hard to see that, which unfortunately stinks, because I saw him when they were all going over to 11-on-11. I saw him trotting over there, and I said, oh yeah, wouldn't mind seeing him make a play or two, but I didn't really see a whole lot. But granted, again, I didn't see much from much of the defensive lineman guys, and again, it's
that's kind of
day one of training camp. It's not they're not full on tackling,
Well,
so.
that's a group that I really kind of, when I was trying to filter through and see what was going on, I didn't really see a lot from that position group.
Yeah.
So, but another position group, unless you guys, Eli, finish what you want to touch on with this. And
I was just going to answer this question here from David Henderson.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I personally, I was really excited about Slayton when they drafted him. I was a fan of him last year, and who knows? But I personally do think he, for sure, with Kenny Clark and Wyatt and Jerron Reed probably all ahead of him on the depth chart, he's going to have a ton of chance to grow, learn. And defensive line, it's rare to see a defensive tackle become something in the NFL in his first couple years, especially if you're a 7th-round pick, which is what I believe he was. But I do think he could take a step up. And as Andrew said, defensive line, it was the hardest position to see today. And also, Jen, probably why you didn't see a ton about it is just, I would imagine, just probably not as aggressive tackling in training camp. So
right, yeah.
I assume that's what I would imagine.
Well, and then another one that I wanted to touch on, because I'm like a broken record talking about the tight end group. Obviously, you mentioned Tunyon looking really good in his rehab and kind of interacting with the fans, which was awesome to see. But kind of just what were you seeing from that tight end? I didn't see anything about Lewis. I don't know if he was out there or not. DeGuara, I know. Eli, was it you that said something about Daphne looking good? I don't know. So I just kind of wanted to touch on that group.
Yeah, actually, no. Andrew's the one who mentioned Daphne. But Daphne, right. He caught a few balls and looked pretty fast with the ball in his hands. A few times, they did some of those play action bootlegs, and they got it to him right away. And he got around the edge really, really quickly. So that was actually, that was a good call by Andrew. I didn't see a ton of Tyler Davis. Andrew, did you? I didn't.
I didn't. Again, it probably just was I didn't see him make any plays in the passing game. It was mainly Daphne had a couple plays, and then DeGuara did have there's that one play. Who threw that? I can't remember if that was Aaron or if that was
or if that was Love. The diving catch.
Yeah, and it was almost like he was almost out near the flat, and the ball wasn't thrown the greatest, but he still made the catch, and he kind of slipped and fell down with it, but he still, he made the catch, and in a real game, he probably would have gotten up in time to at least scamper for a couple yards. So again, not like any wow play there, but again, you make the catch,
Right, exactly. Because I'm all about the DeGuara
there was
season, so Eli.
Yeah, no, it would be really nice to see him. Oh no, am I gone?
No, you're like on delay, so I'm trying to get you to say your thought.
Okay. No, but so DeGuara, first off, I think it was Rodgers who threw that ball. There was just a ton of pressure in his face, and DeGuara made kind of like a nice diving grab, sort of, but I'm not 100% sure, but me and Andrew, I mean, at this point, we've concluded that it has to be the new tight end signing from the USFL, Sal Cannella, who made a really, really nice catch today, a deep ball, and he just jumped up, and I was like, who the hell is this massive person wearing number 80 who just caught it? And I'm thinking, at first I thought it was like Toure, but I'm like, he's not 80, and he's not that big. And then
Do you see what
only 2 days ago?
Oh my gosh.
What?
The way your face froze.
The way it just stopped and the way your video froze was just
Damn it. I'm gonna have to rewatch.
It was perfect.
Like it's mid-sentence to like in the middle of trying to hype this guy up and just
shit.
Well, man,
remember the name Sal Cannella, because who knows? Maybe he'll be.
So he kind of was like your, like underdog of the day, kind of like your silent. What would you call it? Or was he pretty? Kind of like the guy you didn't expect to really. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of forgot about him.
I was considering I didn't know who he was. I definitely wasn't expecting to see him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of in the same boat because when the play was made, I was like 80. I'm like, who the hell's wearing? Who the hell's 80? And then Eli finally mentioned, oh, maybe it's that new guy. And then it finally clicked in my head, and I'm like, oh, you're right, it is. So it was a nice little surprise seeing that. Now, David, I'm glad you brought up Cole Van Lanen. I remember making a comment during some of the drills because we had the offensive lineman like right in front of us. So we got to watch, some of those guys up close. Yash looked really, I feel like, I mean, again, it's just drills, but felt he looked really sharp. Cole Van Lanen, there wasn't like a ton I was seeing, but again, that's someone who I'd like to see take a little bit of a jump. I said I would love nothing more than to see him turn into yet another Mark Tauscher, Wisconsin guy who comes in and becomes a successful lineman
We love those Badger linemen.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I hope he turns into that. So that's someone I'll try and keep my eye on throughout, I'm planning on going to camp tomorrow. I guess we'll see if I wake up after my nap from work. But I think that's someone I'm excited to see.
Eli I can't. Oh my gosh, whatever.
Oh, this is great. This is
happening.
Really
I'm glad. I know Andrew before this show said he was, not feeling the best, had just woken up from a nap. But thankfully he came in here to kind of help me out because there's no way I could have done this show with just, like 1/4 of Eli.
I had work last night.
It's all the hotel's fault. It's terrible Wi-Fi. I would hotspot off my phone, but I have no service in Green Bay. I could barely make a phone call here. Freaking ridiculous.
Eli
But-
is
Oh my
struggling
gosh.
with some here.
Jeez,
Yeah,
should have gone to Andrews for the show, get some Wi-Fi, and
I think
That
that's some of the
actually might
best
have been a
Wi-Fi
better idea.
Eli's had in the last year.
yeah, Eli is notorious for not having great Wi-Fi anyways. So we're kind of just back to like the good old days.
No,
Where-
the last like
As his face is
the
so
last like 6 months. Come on, how? The last like 6 months
Right,
I've had great. But oh no, is it frozen again? All right, we
No,
got.
you're actually back with us right
No.
now.
Okay, so yeah, that's essentially for anyone who did not get to see all the news of going on Packers training camp day 1. That's basically what went down. It was a good day, a lot of positivity, a lot of good plays from young players, from veterans. Most importantly, I don't want to really say it or jinx it, but everyone who came to play left on time and healthy and good. And let's just hope that stays up, throughout training camp. And yeah, I plan on being there tomorrow as well. So Andrew, I hope to be seeing you at practice. And Jen, obviously, we'll be back next week. For everyone who's watching, we'll be back next week to continue to go through training camp. Maybe the ghost Zach Jacobson can return at some point. But while he's not here, you can find his work at It's Zach.
Yeah, so you can find his work at It's
Yeah.
Zach EJ.
Whatever, okay? Make sure to follow Jen and put Big Mac under.
Eli,
Oh,
like he
man.
can't, like it's not letting him finish a sentence.
Jen, you close it out. Oh, but I have to close it out. But okay.
Oh my gosh.
And Mertens _ Andrew. Myself
Oh my
at Book of Eli _ NFL. Follow Game On Wisconsin at Game On WI. Enough with the Wi-Fi, okay? And subscribe on YouTube at Game On Wisconsin. See you next week, everybody. Go Pack, go.
What you think, Fred? All right.
Fred.
Like, dude, you're an idiot.
I'm doing very well, Jen. It's just going to be me and you, or Eli and Zach going to pop in.
Yeah, they'll talk every once in a while.
Every now and then we'll kind
But
of
he was already
It happened
right away.
It kind of well, we're used to you attacking us, so
Yeah. that is-
Sorry.
look at.
Let's just put it this way. Who do you see as the quarterback week